there are some interesting developments yesterday. So if it was bad enough that Baker Mayfield got worked against the 49ers, had probably one of his worst games as a professional, that Nick Bosa was out there just trolling him with the planting the flag celebration. And Raja and I talked about that yesterday and how Baker Mayfield wasn't in a place to talk. Well, that wasn't the worst of it. Because Richard Sherman, after the game, had some very interesting comments on one Baker Mayfield. Essentially threw him under the bus, called out his sportsmanship by telling people what happened in the handshake line, if you will, at the coin toss. So Richard Sherman, after the game, said what's amazing in talking about Baker Mayfield, what's amazing and annoying was him not shaking hands at the beginning. That's some college bleep. It's ridiculous. We're all trying to get psyched up, but shaking hands with your opponent, that's NFL etiquette. And when you pull Bush League stuff, that's disrespectful to the game. And believe me, that's going to get us fired up. So that kind of quote, I would say, went viral sometime after or during when we were on air yesterday. So we didn't get to talk about it. It's a good thing, because you know what Raj and I would have done? We would have said, you're right, Richard Sherman. How dare Baker Mayfield not show sportsmanship? What a bushling thing to do. We would have been right on board slamming Baker Mayfield. And most people did when they read these initial quotes. There's one problem. It didn't actually happen the way that Richard Sherman described. What I don't understand, and I kind of do have a hunch for why Richard Sherman brought this up, but what I can't understand is how he thinks he's going to get away with it in 2019 when there are cameras everywhere, including right in the shot that shows him shaking hands with Baker Mayfield before the game as the captains go up the field. There's about 6 cameras right around him, including one right in his face before he shakes hands with Baker Mayfield. And to me, what makes it even worse, I think Richard Sherman's face looks at Baker Mayfield as a little bit disrespectful, like, hey, punk, like, hey. And he kind of walks by him, and Baker's still talking to him, and Richard Sherman walks right by him. Bottom line, Richard Sherman lied. He lied about this. You ask why? You know why I think he did? Because he loves attention. He's loved attention throughout his entire career. And his career has been in decline. Hasn't been as impressive as he was when he was the beneficiary of an incredible defense when he was pretty much playing a cover 3 corner the whole time, which isn't the hardest thing to do. He's not really your lockdown defensive back that he would like you to seem. I'd say he's been overrated for most of his career. Now, he's had a really nice career, but it's been in decline. He's been out of the spotlight, hasn't been featured as much in off-season NFL commercials, ads, and all those things. They've kind of gone quietly. But Richard Sherman's not going away quietly, which is why I think he brought this up. I think he saw this as an easy target in the Cleveland Browns and Baker Mayfield, who is struggling. He is a brash young quarterback who likes to talk a lot of trash. And Richard Sherman saw himself, this is an opportunity to inject himself into this conversation. It's exactly what I think he did. Now, Richard Sherman goes out yesterday, and he tweeted out, Richard Sherman did, "People freaking out over a handshake gave me a good laugh. I will lose no sleep over it," and have moved on to the next opponent. But yeah, that's great and all, but you did kind of throw Baker Mayfield under the bus, accusing him of doing something that he didn't actually do. You probably owe him an apology, as people have already questioned his reputation. He can't afford somebody like this coming out against him. I think that'd be the classy thing to do. You want to talk about class and sportsmanship and the NFL etiquette? You owe Baker Mayfield an apology. Come out and tell him, hey man, sorry it was a bad look for you. That'd be the classy, professional NFL etiquette thing to do, but somehow I don't think we get that from Richard Sherman. Also, a tweet from Albert Breer, who said it was Baker Mayfield darting away after the toss that really angered the 49ers. And there is a video of that as well. After they shake hands, they flip the coin, and as soon as it comes down tails or heads, I don't know what it was, Baker Mayfield takes off, sprints, as well as his linebacker does next to him for the Cleveland Browns. I don't think that's that egregious. I think it happens all the time. Quarterback has to go start warming up, throw some balls, getting ready for play. Bottom line, Richard Sherman is becoming the Juicy Smollier of the NFL. And if you don't know the reference I'm talking about, go check out Dave Chappelle's Netflix special, because that's exactly what he's becoming. He's creating these stories that didn't actually happen. He needs to come clean with them and own up to it before he keeps throwing other dudes under the bus. Thought it was a messed up look from Richard Sherman.